3 people are confirmed dead from flash flooding.
And 2 of them are children, a 7-year-old boy and a 4-year-old little girl. The 3rd victim is a man in his 40s.
This is all because of a major flooding event in the Ruidoso area. It rose to a record-breaking 20 feet. Monsoonal rains fell on burn-scar areas, which also led to that flooding.
And Amanda's going to give us a lot more information on what they're expecting today in just a few minutes. First, we want to start with this. A viewer sent in this video that you see here. This went viral overnight. That house swept away in the flood waters, just to show the strength of it at the peak of the horror. New information is still coming in on this. We are not releasing the names of the people who were killed in the floods just yet because officials haven't confirmed them to us yet.
And this flooding event is not over in Ruidoso. Search and rescue operations will continue this morning for others who might still be trapped.
Shelters are open for those whose homes are impacted by this. That flooding started in the afternoon yesterday. Several roads were closed, and the State Department of Homeland Security says crews rescued 85 people in the floodwaters as of last night. I want to get out live to Cassie Foote, who has been in Ruidoso since yesterday.
So, Cassie, what are you seeing so far this morning?
Well, there's so much damage and heartbreak that the people in the village of Ruidoso are waking up to this morning. We are at the Riverview RV Park off Sutterth Drive. This backs up right to the Rio Ruidoso, and I want to show you what it looks like here. So we believe that this is the camp host spot. There's a sign that says camp host and then an arrow pointing to this spot here. You can see that house just completely destroyed. I mean, the image speaks for itself there. A door is actually cut in half, and through that opening, when I walked by, I could see a bed coming out of that wall. And then the trailer here, the lights are still on. It's not even on the ground. It's just completely propped up with debris and sediment, maybe even some debris from that home that it's sitting by. When we pulled into town yesterday, we saw the damage on Gavilan Canyon Road, where the Gavilan County Ballpark is completely destroyed. A man who lives in the area says this is where the girls host tournaments every year. And a woman who owns another RV park just down the street says her home there had about 8 inches of water in it.
My friend just lost her. She's fine, but she just lost her home. And I've just been praying and praying that everybody's okay, and I hope that they are, but it's crazy. I've never seen this much water so fast.
Last night when we were out here, we saw so many people trying to help out, bringing out headlamps and flashlights, even a couple of people looking for the search crews who were tasked with looking for those missing people last night. As the day goes on, we're going to hear more stories from the people impacted here, and of course, we'll bring you those as we talk to people. Reporting live from Ruidoso, Cassie Foote, KOB4.
All right, Cassie, thanks so much for the update this morning. Ruidoso Mayor Lynn Crawford shared a statement about the floods as well, saying, "Our hearts are broken for the families who have lost their loved ones in this terrible tragedy. The entire village of Ruidoso extends our deepest sympathy and compassion to these grieving families during this unimaginably difficult time. We are united in our sorrow and our commitment to supporting one another as we face this devastating loss together."
The governor says she has signed an emergency declaration request to get federal response teams and repair resources on the ground immediately. And she did say that those federal resources are already on the way. The governor said, quote, "New Mexico is mobilizing every resource we have, but Ruidoso needs federal support to recover from this disaster. We've watched Texas receive the federal resources they desperately needed, and Ruidoso deserves that same urgent response."
We are at the Riverview RV Park on Sutterth Drive here, and we want to show you what that wall of water did to several of the RVs here. Here's just one of them. You can see it's completely tilted off of its back wheels, stuck up on what looks to be pieces of a metal fence, debris, tree branches, and then knocked into that big tree with the front end completely smashed there. This is just one of several trailers with this kind of destruction and damage. And when we got to town last night, we saw thousands of sandbags here around the village. We talked to one woman who put up 500 sandbags around her home 2 weeks ago. Unfortunately, this isn't anything new for a lot of people who live here. That woman told me her house has flooded 4 times, but it was spared when the storm hit yesterday.
Had the worst flood. I've seen Ruidoso flooding before, and I've seen the one in 2007, 2008, and that was nothing compared to today. And so you constantly on edge, thinking, is my house gonna be flooded?
On edge, yeah, that is what a lot of people were feeling yesterday when the rain started to fall. Of course, as the sun continues to rise, we're going to be able to see more of the damage that flooding did to this village. And we're also going to be talking to people, hearing their stories about how they've been impacted by this historic storm. We'll bring you those stories as the day goes on. Reporting live from Ruidoso, Cassie Foote, KOB4.
Not only that, but again, they have another chance of some activity on radar as we go through those afternoon to evening hours. But I want to get you that look at what this looked like as we've gone through yesterday during those afternoon to evening hours. Notice they got hit with multiple rounds of showers and storms, where even some of that were a little bit on the slower moving side. So again, that's where we're going to see that potential for more of that flash flooding today. Again, where Ruidoso is under a flood watch from noon today until that 9 o'clock hour, where we could see that repeated action of showers and storms producing pretty hefty rainfall. We have enough moisture in the atmosphere to allow for that to happen as we go through those afternoon hours.